Texas Podcast Massacre contains spoilers and adult language. For more horror, visit us at our website at texaspodcastmassacre.com. This is Texas Podcast Massacre.
Welcome to another episode of Texas Podcast Massacre. Mitch, shut up. I'm your host, Mitch. And with me, as always, is my sign languaging buddy, Nate. Subtitle for American Sign Language inserted here. Each week on Texas Podcast Massacre, we take a look.
Okay, come on. I can't do it.
I wanted to see how far I could go.
That's too much.
All right. Well, welcome once again to another
way.
episode of Texas Podcast Massacre, coming to you from Houston, Texas. Each week on the show, we look at a different horror movie and debate a horror-related topic with our unsuspecting victim, or victims in this case, who are usually someone that we would not call a horror fan. Now, this week, we leave the city and try to make as little noise as possible with our two unsuspecting guests, returning Anthony.
Howdy ho.
And for the first time, Kendall.
Hey.
All right, welcome to the show. So, Anthony, last time we had you for
Oh, God.
You're kind of fast becoming our new release unsuspecting victim. You're the only one that we seem to be able to drag to.
You're our fast, unsuspecting victim. However you want to take that.
I like it. I'm thankful I get to come in for a good movie. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's rare. Ask Luke David. It's rare to come.
It's like you have to punch you have to get five. You just see 5 crappy movies and you punch the card that you get to turn in for one good movie. So just get ready for that.
Oh my god. Well, and so Kendall, this is your first time.
It is.
Now, I know you are not a horror fan. You hate horror movies.
I do.
Okay.
I hate horror movies.
Is there any type of horror movie you do particularly like?
Saw.
What?
Wow.
Out of all of them?
That is a...
Oh, man.
All right, so why Saw?
Yeah.
I can do the thriller. I can do the gore. It's the pop-out scary I can't do.
Oh, so it's jump scares that bother you.
Jump scares, yes.
So what's a movie that you did see that you hated because it was like that? Because, obviously you don't like it. You had to have seen something to say oh, shit, I hate this.
What was the movie with the mirror and the kids in the house?
Oculus.
Yes.
Oculus.
Hated that.
Okay.
Hated that.
So hated kids in mirrors, loved people getting dismembered.
Yes. I'm okay with that.
Okay, all right.
The
They
puppet's
had it
pretty
coming
cool.
to them.
Okay.
They did.
They had it coming to them. All right. That was surprising.
Yeah, I was not prepared for that answer. All right, well, welcome to the show, Kendall. Welcome back, Anthony. We are going to be discussing A Quiet Place this week, but before we do that, we want to start with our debate question of the week.
Yeah, we will see how the Lord favors you.
No, you dare not, blaspheme! He will punish you! The jaws of hell will devour you! All of you! No!
Now, Lisa's not here with us, but she's still taking care of little Damien. But she did want me to say we have to replace this drop before she comes back.
Okay.
It's her weekly reminder to replace this drop.
It's a negotiation. We'll see. See if we can put it in her contract.
By negotiation, you mean we're not doing it?
Sure. However you want to put it, Mitch.
All right, Nate. So we were going back and forth with this debate question. I think you've got it better worked out than I do. So why don't you lead us in this time?
Yeah, sure. So the debate question that I thought would be good here is: so John Krasinki and Emily Blunt are a married couple that is taking care of their kids and trying to do everything they can to keep them to survive from these things that are coming after them if they make sound. So I thought it'd be cool if we could replace any, and I'm going to go either fictional or real couple in place of them, and why you would like that movie or why it would be hilarious.
Okay, so to reiterate,
replace
pick a couple.
Yeah, replace the parents with another couple,
but in the same scenario.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Nate, do you want to kick it off?
No, I want to hear what other people have to say first.
All right. I will go first.
Okay.
If we're going past or present, I would pick
any couple ever.
Roseanne Barr and Tom Arnold.
So they're dead instantaneously. Roseanne's like, and then it is just over.
It is a tight 5-minute film. I think that would be solid.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my pick.
I mean, John Goodman was basically in 10 Cloverfield Lane, kind of similar to this, actually.
What if John Goodman, if John Goodman is running the aliens, like there's some medical experience. He let him out for 10 Cloverfield Lane to go after Tom Arnold to get Roseanne back. What if that's the whole premise?
So it's like an alien quiet movie love triangle.
Yes.
Between the sexiest actors in the business right now, John Goodman, Roseanne Barr, and Tom Arnold. Yeah, that'll really fill people in the seats.
Hey, how many people were tuned in for the new Roseanne relaunch? I mean, there's a market for
4
people. Yeah,
there's 4 people that are going to dial in for that.
Yeah,
there was a little. I beg to differ. Anthony, fine. Who do you pick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You beat it.
Oh, you put me on the spot. Okay. Let me think about this. All right, we're gonna go with. I know. We're gonna go with Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Is it Bradgelina? Brangelina. I'm going with that just because that was probably the coolest movie couple ever. And
So you're going with the
lot
fictional
more.
couple, not
Yeah, I'm
actually
definitely going fictional. There was a lot of guns in that movie, and this movie needed more guns.
So
A Quiet Place needed more guns.
A Quiet Place needed more
We need
guns.
more guns.
Yikes.
That message brought to you by the NRA.
Yeah, really. Yikes. Oh. Man, that's a quick movie. That is a quick movie.
It's either going to be really great or really terrible.
It's a short film. Wow.
Kendall, who would you like to see?
Well, it's Masters Week this week. Masters kicked off today. So probably it'd be interesting if you have Tiger Woods and his ex-wife, Ellen.
Okay.
Right around the time where she found out that he's been cheating on her.
Okay.
She pulls out the golf clubs and goes to town, and it brings all the aliens to him.
Oh, I think she'd
Well,
leave
ripping
like a
them
remote
apart.
control sound thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, the golf clubs are more silent than Anthony's gun, so you're probably.
But when she starts taking it to the windshield of his truck, he doesn't have a chance.
That's true. But I mean, yeah.
Sacrifice him.
Yeah, or it's like Tiger Woods is like, hey, we're in a dystopian future with aliens now. Like, I mean, was it really that bad?
He'd probably be like, I wonder if they're interested.
I'm thinking the black guy dies early in Kendall's movie.
only if the aliens were waitressing at IHOP. Then maybe he would. He'd be interested. we got
Intergalactic House of Pancakes.
we got you covered, Kendall.
Wow.
Yeah, the Intergalactic House of Pancake. I like it.
Yeah. Oh man.
He hit
Okay.
it.
So I had some from before, and I didn't really think about it, but I like the ones I had. So my joke one would be Fran Dresser and that rich dude from The Nanny.
No one knows. Sure. Okay.
Fran Dresser. Everyone knows Fran Dresser.
Welcome to 1991.
Yeah. Whatever that sound is. Literally dying instantly. But I think
Is that you, Jaleel White? I mean,
damn it. I was going to say Steve Urkel. That's my next one.
what if Fran Drescher and Jaleel White? Who survives if they're the couple together?
What I was going to say is you got Steve Urkel and Laura, right? Winslow. But then to spice the movie up, he changes from Steve Urkel to Stefan Urkel. And so then when shit goes down and he's stuck as Steve Urkel, problems. And then for a real world one, I would just say Britney Spears. Britney Spears and Kate.
So right before he gets who?
Yes.
Kevin Federline.
Yes, I remember that.
I'm going with definitely all 90s references.
Wow. So many 90s references there.
I kind of want to go back to
Right? Imagine that couple keeping it together, Kendall. Would that be amazing?
That's fantastic.
You just see, instead of just crying to herself, Britney Spears is just shaving her head with the baby. Oh my God, it'd be gold.
What about MJ just holding the baby out of the window of the second story?
Yeah, I thought about it, but then who is the other person?
MJ would be the alien.
The other person would be kids.
Oh, damn.
She's on point.
Hey, this movie needed blankets a lot. So if you want to make that reference, you can.
All right.
Man.
On that note, I think we're gonna move on. I don't know that I want to declare a winner here.
Yeah.
But solid all around.
Anthony loses. Everyone else wins.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's because my movie's 2 minutes long.
I think I only beat you out because I had John Goodman angle in there.
Fair.
That's true.
Cloverfield won.
Right. All right. Well, we'll move into our review of this week's movie of the week, A Quiet Place.
Military fighting a massive invasion. Around the world. Total devastation.
We have to protect them. Promise me.
I promise.
All right, so what we do now, we have a little fun segment.
There's like the entire talking in the film is like all scrunched into the trailer.
Oh, yeah. It took me a while to find the first trailer I picked. You usually like to get the teasers, right? Because it's shorter to the point. No talking. It's just sound effects. And it's like, well, I can't do much with that.
You're saying our listeners don't have an imagination? Come on, Mitch. Of course they do.
So, Kendall, what we used to explain what the movie's about, but now we decided to make our unsuspecting victims do it. So if you had to explain to someone what this movie is about, what would you tell them?
So there's a couple, and they have 3 kids. One of the kids is deaf. For some reason, they decided they don't want to wear shoes anymore. So they like being barefoot.
They're hipsters.
They're hipsters, yes.
This all takes place in Portland.
They're hobbits.
Very granola.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
Yep. And so they like to walk around barefoot, and they have to be very quiet. But the kids are pretty dumb, and they like to make loud noises just to piss off the parents because they're just privileged kids.
#kids are dumb.
Kid privilege.
Yeah, really. Wow.
All right.
I mean, all parents are agreeing with you, but just yikes. Okay.
That's solid.
That's the movie.
That is.
If you want to wear shoes, kids are dumb.
And one of the daughters just felt so privileged that her dad killed himself for her.
Yeah.
Deep stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These kids.
Yeah,
kids aren't all right.
Kids these days.
Nate, what can you tell us about this one?
Yeah, sure. So this is a movie that we just saw. No,
solid critique.
So A Quiet Place was directed by John Krasinski, as everyone knows as Jim from The Office.
Also the Scranton Strangler.
Potentially the Scranton Strangler. Can neither confirm or deny that.
Toby's a red herring.
Sure. Did you say it could be Creed too?
It could be Creed because I mean, there's a lot of evidence it could be Creed.
Well, luckily this movie or this review isn't about The Office. It's about A Quiet Place. So John Krasinski, so he starred and directed in this movie with his real life wife Emily Blunt. This movie was a tight 95 minutes. The budget was only $17 million, and it is probably already made that today. The first date was out on Thursday. So this movie's going to do super well. So definitely. So the original script for this movie had one line of dialogue. And then the rest of the screenplay was just describing people's facial, how their faces would look and the action that was taking place. Luckily, John Krasinski got back in there with them, rewrote the screenplay, and added a little bit more dialogue. But basically, the movie is one of the least speaking movies this side of like Dunkirk, I guess, that I would say. And it's getting pretty rave reviews. I mean, I think it's 100% of Rotten Tomatoes right now. And it's also doing pretty well on IMDb. It's at 8.3 right now with about 4,000 reviews. So it's doing pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah. And the girl was actually deaf in real life.
Okay.
So she wasn't just playing deaf for the movie. Cool. She was actually deaf.
So overall impressions, what did y'all think? Just in high level overall.
Definitely kept my attention.
Yeah.
I thought they did a pretty good job at trying to keep us engaged the whole time.
Yeah, Anthony, you don't strike me as someone who likes a lot of non-dialogue. This had a very foreign film feeling to it, and a lot of reading. Doesn't strike me as some
How
of your
was that reading
some of your
for you?
strong suit. How as
words.
How is following those words?
Is it
for
hard
you?
to focus
the
on?
good thing is all the words are small.
That's good.
So that
Could you
helps.
focus on the movie while the words were popping up on the screen?
Honestly, the movie is so quiet. You hear
It's in the title.
You hear everything. So I hear the person next to me crunching on his popcorn. I hear
That was
somebody.
Nate.
Thanks, Nate. How about you calm down with the popcorn?
Okay, I want to rant real quick. Speaking of terrible people in movie theaters, the person next to me, this lady sucked.
Okay.
She kept checking her phone. Again, you can hear everything. This is a movie where, like, put your fucking phone away.
Yeah.
Okay? And then she said she had a miscarriage like 8 times in a row. You're an idiot. Just never go to movies.
Yeah.
Or don't go on the first day if you're going to suck, okay?
Yeah.
Just, like, be a better person.
If your
And
type
rant,
of movie
sorry.
theater has anybody that may even whisper in the theater or they crunch loud,
Yeah,
just
I
don't
would.
go.
I would
We
just
heard
suggest
everything.
you don't buy concessions for this one. Eat it ahead of time because everyone's going to hear you trying to eat
your Sour Patch Kids?
your Sour Patch
Yeah,
watermelons.
thank you for opening your sour.
Yeah,
Patch
you're
Kids.
just,
I think a solid spot for that.
When you open it, just open it fast. Slower just drags it out. You
I
just
think
like
just
pull
pick
it
it up
and just go.
slowly
Yeah.
and then
just
Gummy
pull it.
bears are the only food allowed in this movie.
No, but there's still all the rustling. It was just.
No, you can get milk duds because then they coat your teeth and then they block the sound when you chew it. That's another one that might work.
That's a pro
always
tip, everyone.
You know when your friend or anybody has they're running out of soda, so you can just hear it
Yeah.
right at the
That's a
end.
Move
fun
the straw.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you go to see this movie, you will hear literally every sound in the theater.
especially for like the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
People running up and down the aisles trying to get back to their seats.
Yeah. What did y'all think of the pacing of this movie? Did you think it dragged any? You thought it was good time, or did you?
No, I think it did a pretty good job. It kind of it went from one part to the other pretty well.
It started slow, but it was you're building
Yeah, it did.
You're
start
building
slow.
the history of the characters so that you then care about them when the shit does hit the fan later. I think
Some of them.
I think a pretty good job. Sure. Well, the character building for you to think they're an idiot is also still character building. So they nailed it.
Selfish kids.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the characters in this movie. There's obviously there's not many of them. It's really just the family. So there's John Krasinski.
I was gonna say they had names, but I mean
They never
said their
so-
names because it's like Man in the Woods. I mean that's okay. That's pretty fair.
So
as
we'll
a
just say
character. I like
John,
that.
Emily, deaf girl, middle son.
alive son, dead son, baby.
And baby.
The baby was the best.
Oh.
I've never seen a baby that quiet before.
Yeah, they use the legit newborn. That was not a.
You're the expert, Mitch.
Well,
so, yeah,
usually they always
newborn.
use like babies where it's like, oh yeah, that baby's like 8 months old.
Okay.
Just tell. This one was no. It was.
You can see the head dimple in there.
You could the soft spot on the yeah.
Okay. Wow.
I know you're learning these things, Nate.
I know.
You're so cultured. No, I don't know. Okay, so what character stood out to y'all of the family?
The one they spend the most time on was the daughter.
Millicent. Yeah, I think she did a fantastic job.
Yeah. I had to look what her name was. That's the actress's name. Yeah, she was great. A lot of
Supposedly her name was Reagan in the movie.
sure. Why not?
We'll go with that.
Yeah, no, but yeah, she was probably the most developed of the characters. She was the one who put batteries in the toy. Where in the beginning, so does the kid die.com? Yes.
Yeah.
In the first
Solid.
7-8 minutes of the movie,
Now
a kid
she
is
didn't
murdered.
put the batteries back in.
Yeah, she didn't.
She
put
gave
the
it. She
batteries
gave it to
She
him.
gave
No,
him the toy, then
she
he
gave him the
grabbed
toy,
the
he grabbed the
batteries.
batteries.
out.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I take that
in.
back.
Yeah, he was fully involved in his
That's
own.
true.
Yeah, so that was a
Yeah.
tough scene. I will say, most of the scenes in this movie that were very suspenseful, you kind of saw in the trailer,
He had it coming to him.
Yeah.
and that kid kind of,
But to be fair, that kid dying then was probably the best thing that happened to that family because they're the kind of people with different personalities, right? So, like, in how we live now, it's no big deal. Like, someone just touched something and whatever. There's just people that are like that. And in this new dystopian 2020, 2021 future, that kid was always going to die, whether it was then or later. I mean, there's
Natural
no way.
selection.
No.
It is. There's just certain people who can't be quiet.
Oh, really? Nate?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Like Mitch?
Everybody looked over at Mitch.
Yeah. I mean,
Look, I'll go and tell you right now. If I find myself in this situation, you just kill me. I don't want to even be in this type of world. I'm fine being just slashed in
This
half.
is being recorded, right?
Yeah, that's fine. It's just
this is like a podcast will that's just just happening right now.
let everyone know.
I'm just saying it's like the internet notary.
So we don't find a whole lot about the situation, right? We know there's these creatures.
These things, I'm assuming alien.
There are some sort of alien invader.
I would assume.
You see some of the newspapers, which I'm impressed that the newspapers are still running effectively.
Yeah, man.
And they have electricity.
They do have electricity. That hasn't fallen by the wayside. I guess there are people
After
underground.
500 days,
there's
there's still electricity.
I mean, they showed that there's other people because they saw the fires, right?
Yeah.
Although it doesn't really play into anything.
Well, then the fires stop. They tried to light the fire when the kids were alone, and no one lit their fire.
Yeah. It was the movie. It was subtle, but the movie was showing the escalation of those things in the area.
I see.
Because before, if you remember, again, it was really subtle, but they said there's 3 in the area.
Yeah.
But you kept seeing like 2 and more often. And then when they made the sound, you saw like just a bunch running toward them. So I think it was slowly showing that they were coming more and more into the area. Yeah.
Brought even more of them.
Now, does it bother you that you don't really find out anything more about these creatures or anything?
No, that makes
else?
it way more scary.
Really? That destroyed the movie for me.
The less knowledge you have about something, the scarier it is.
I think you got a lot of knowledge when they were in the basement right before she shot one of them.
So what? The movie starts and it gives you what? 80? It says 83, 87, something.
89 days.
89
Yes,
days.
day 89.
And they lost their shoes at 88 days.
Well, okay, so losing the shoes is to be more quiet.
Because
I mean,
look,
that seems
look,
fair. I mean,
let's be real.
how loud are shoes?
In 7 days, the Air Jordans are already taken.
yeah.
By about 30 days in, all the kids are gone.
Dude, like Crocs are like creaking everywhere. I mean, you don't want to wear those. I mean, come on. Maybe slippers. Maybe like some fuzzy slippers. You can wear those around. You can't run in those. See?
But
Still wouldn't have helped that.
Flip-flops are already just dead Ben walking.
Still wouldn't have helped that nail on the stairs.
Yeah, I mean, am I right? I mean, you don't know what happened before that, and then the movie ends. You have no idea what happened afterwards. I don't know.
Yeah,
but just that bothers me. I want to know.
You want finality.
I'm just going to be thinking about it now. It's like, what happened before? How did they get there? Okay, and then it ends. What happens now?
Well, sure,
Yeah,
What is this aliens?
You wanted like a
plan, right?
You want like a text crawl at the end to say like they went. This family went on to be the family that killed all the aliens.
You know those movies where all of a sudden you get like the subtitles or you get like the storyline written out in text for you at the beginning or and or at the end.
Yeah, but
give me something.
This movie would be like that baby died 3 days later, like
and then
the whole
the
family
credits.
was murdered that night. Like
it's called closure, man.
So Anthony, would it have been different had they actually been zombies instead of aliens?
Oh, aliens are way better than zombies.
Yeah, I'm
played out.
Just from the standpoint of you have random creature is attacking you, and killing everyone, and still the same post-apocalyptic society.
Yeah, but there's
I think my only question I think I still have was, okay, aliens. Usually in these alien movies, they're after something. They're either harvesting people or Earth resources or something. There's some reason why they've come to this planet to slaughter everyone.
I'm assuming it's just to hunt and spread
to
spread their genes across multiple generations to keep their
take over the planet,
their species going. Yeah,
I think they were sufficiently scary.
No, the creatures themselves were awesome.
Yeah,
kind of reminded me of the Demogorgon from Stranger Things.
Sure, like small,
how
nimble.
Its face opened up a little bit,
spidery.
Yeah, the effects, the creature did not disappoint.
No, not at all.
It's fantastic.
It was great.
Yeah.
Because normally they shy away from like, normally like they're in the shadows, and then when they like zoom in on it, it's like, oh, that was underwhelming. So that's what I was gonna say about this movie. This movie is like what Signs should have been.
Yeah.
Right? Like this, like if Signs could have been this movie, oh my god, a million times better. So this movie crushed. Suck it, Mel Gibson. This movie crushed it.
I don't know. I kept waiting for water to hurt them, and then he that
No.
dove into the water.
Oh,
Like,
that was
Swing away.
Was that not one of the creepiest things in the movie when the thing got like folded its legs in and then dove into the water
yeah.
like so
Yeah.
silent?
And then she stayed in the water.
That was awesome.
Kendall,
Get out of
Kendall
the-
just next to me, he's like, "Get out of the water! What are you doing?"
She had to get the baby
Get out of the
She
water.
had to get the
It
baby.
can have the baby. Get out of the water.
Oh man, you're just ditching that kid.
I can make more.
Obviously, she doesn't have a problem with that.
Wow. Oh, man.
Oh,
Yikes.
yeah, yeah. That was certainly one of the creepier scenes. That was definitely
That was
tenser
awesome.
one.
So this movie sets up just so many. I mean, at the end, everything is just going wrong. I mean, they're the characters. I like the characters because they were all pretty well grounded. No one was really like ridiculous, right? Like everyone is pretty reasonable, which is good. And then they were acting mostly fairly smart, had good systems in place.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just these things are just like so, like it's almost insurmountable. But they did the best they could. And I like that they were like as a unit, they're trying to do shit and get
Yeah,
stuff
it
done.
did the family dynamic better than what I think. What's shit? The other movie we saw last year that we thought was really going to be.
It Comes at Night.
Yeah,
God, so forgettable. You couldn't even remember the
right.
the
Exactly.
movie's
Well,
name.
exactly. This movie's already blown that out of the water for me.
Yeah.
Man. So was there any scene? What was y'all's favorite scene in this movie? Anthony, we can start with you. What scene was the most memorable to you?
I'm not going to give you the easy answer and say it was the one scene with the gun. I'm not giving you that one. Let me think. What was my favorite scene in the movie? Tough. I think it's actually when they were in the what would you call that thing with the corn in it? What was that?
Silo.
Yeah,
Was it the silo? Yeah,
the corn
So
silo.
they're actually in the silo.
I'm the corn expert in the group here. So let's check that out.
Thank you for being from the Midwest.
No problem.
No, but when it actually jumped in there with them, and they're actually like almost falling in, but not really, and then all of a sudden
So
they have to.
I have an issue with that scene because they were sinking into the corn at the beginning.
Yeah,
but
so the
then
corn
when
gets packed more tightly around the edges.
okay,
So it's harder to sink. Yeah.
that's good.
Yep.
From the Midwest.
You are the corn
He's
expert.
our corn expert.
Oh, nice. One of
Yep.
the children
I'd
of the
probably say-
corn over here.
I enjoyed most when they were running around barefoot.
You can't get over the barefoot thing. Can't get over it.
I can't.
They had sand. How much sand do they have here?
What was
Because
the,
they're
was
putting
that to
sand.
keep it quiet? Is that
Yeah,
something they were
yeah.
saying?
To
You
deaden
couldn't
the
run
sound.
barefoot at Legoland. That's all I'm saying. If this were like, you would just just dead.
The people at
Why didn't they
Legoland
throw
are
down
dead. The
Legos?
people at Legoland are dead. Okay, like the
What
first
about-
people to go.
What is there like the one scene where they finally get to talk? There was the waterfall scene.
yeah.
I was like, I finally got to hear.
was cool.
I got to hear
Go
words.
Chasing. Oh, sorry.
It was like an opportunity to eat like your loud candy. You have to wait 45 minutes into the movie, then you can take a bite of your crunchy candy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like the one. I mean,
What was your favorite scene, Nate?
my favorite scene was okay. So, I mean, Emily Blunt in this movie was spectacular. I thought she did a great job acting under the circumstances of the script. So, her water breaks. She had inadvertently pulled a nail out when she got her bag caught going up the stairs. So her water breaks. She tries to go downstairs to deaden the sound. Steps on a nail, just going almost all the way through her foot. Has to pull that out. Is limping like all over the place. Then the alien thing comes down there with her. She sets an egg timer, right? Or a timer to like set up her escape. She goes into a tub upstairs. There's another one there. She's bleeding, right? And she's trying not to make a sound while basically having contractions and like going into labor. I mean, that was just freaking badass.
That was awesome.
That was all. I mean, again, there's no dialogue for minutes in this section because you're just
Except
focused
for
on
the
her.
lady next to you talking about a miscarriage.
Yeah, miscarriage. It's a miscarriage. It's a miscarriage. Shut the fuck up. Okay. Jesus. Anyway. Sorry, I digress. Check your phone. Don't talk. I'm fine. If I had to choose between the two of this lady. No, but I mean, that was great. Great acting. it stayed on her the entire time. There was some stuff here and there, and then the fireworks went off. That whole kind of scene.
I like the fireworks.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Was the fireworks your favorite scene, Kendall, or was there a different one?
I think also when John grabs the axe.
Yeah.
And he's about to swing at the alien, but then the alien gets him. I like that twist there. That was awesome.
I was waiting for him.
Yeah. Lightning quick reflexes. Yeah. Although when the so you made a good point earlier, Kendall. If they set off the fireworks, don't they just like fuck all their neighbors?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
That's why I'm thinking all their neighbors were no longer there. Because they had just shut off the fireworks.
Yeah, so before that, they were escalating some, but yeah, that probably... that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks
all
hard.
For a baby.
Yeah, that's...
Wow.
Fuck, you gotta get mine. Yeah.
I mean, so Mitch in the theater was like, what the fuck is she getting pregnant for? I was like, you gotta keep civilization going. I mean, I get it. I get why you don't want to have a baby.
Your civilization's not gonna last very long when you have a screaming... 6-week-old.
They figured it out. So this system, okay.
Let me just tell you from personal experience today.
How did they get a baby oxygen mask? And then how did they get an air tank? Okay, a baby oxygen mask, fine. Okay. They have an air tank for this baby?
They kept going into town.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how many air tanks are there? Or how long are you going to get this baby in there?
You're okay with the air tank, but the baby mask, you think those are in high demand? No, I think it's easier to get an oxygen tank. It's like,
I didn't know you could get a air mask for your baby.
Yeah,
it's just go to Walgreens, aisle 2.
Baby apnea is a scourge across the nation.
I mean, it's like a little baby Darth Vader over here.
Yeah, basically. And then they have this
they're
kid
shipping him off like Moses.
So this kid is getting just straight Ferberized the whole time. Is put in a box that's soundproofed with a
skin to skin contact
with the oxygen.
No feeding.
No feeding.
It's like a high security crib or something. You get out 1 hour a day or something. I don't even know. Oh.
Yeah, it went straight into a coffin. Let's just call it what it was.
Yeah. It's a soundproofed coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's cool setup though. But that was a little shaky for me.
What did y'all think about the old? Okay, so there's the scene with the old man where they're just walking and they see the old man and he sees his wife has been killed by one of these things.
Yeah.
So he sees these two other people and says, "Yeah, just fucking, I'm done." And just
he's old. Yeah. His character was literally old man.
I like how. What a kind of a dick move though. Here's two other people still alive. Maybe I'll just
wait till they're next to me and then I'll scream.
Yeah, that's pretty lame.
Yeah.
And then John's just like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to set off all these fireworks. Yeah. Screw you guys.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. I'm wondering, that universe has got Anthony's got a lot of questions. I'm waiting for A Quiet Place 2 now.
All right, my first question, I just got to put it out there because it's driving me nuts.
Sure.
All right, the sand is everywhere. Kendall loves it. Everybody's barefoot.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back, day 89, beginning of the movie.
Right.
There's sand trail all the way from where they are, which it seems like a long walk because it makes
at least 2 miles.
It makes it appear like it's a long walk. And they have trails everywhere in sand. Okay, I may believe that if you're near a beach. But they're probably in the Midwest. How many beaches are in the Midwest?
No, they're in Portland.
Did it say Portland?
No.
No, they're barefoot.
Yeah,
this was filmed in upstate New York.
Okay, where do you get that much sand?
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, they're by a river. They're by a river. So you can get a lot of sand from there.
Think of all the sandbars at the little
in East Texas. Yeah, I mean you can make a lot of trails.
Yeah,
not going anywhere.
I'd be more upset about the apparently lack of wind anywhere, but that's fine. They're just these trails never. It's been a year, and these trails are still just hanging.
Well, he's replenishing it. They show him replenishing it. Yeah, rain. That's the main one. The rain would just wash that shit away.
Yeah,
on concrete. You know what I mean? That would just be.
But he's got miles and miles, I'm assuming, of this sand.
Would you say he would walk 500 miles just to get a baby man?
Wow.
Would you walk 500 more?
They missed an opportunity to have that part of the movie.
His shoes weren't made for walking, so.
Because they didn't have any. Nice.
Well, not.
Wow. Man. You can't get over the lack of shoes.
Cannot.
Get these people some freaking shoes.
Just hit a DSW on your way out of town.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Find some sneakers.
The first place, like after the apocalypse happens, Kendall's going to Zappos. like that's what's
Give me some new shoes.
Just getting her some LeBrons.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. Let's ask it. Kendall, you are at the DSW at the end of the world. What shoe are you going for? What is the ultimate?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Survival shoe.
Not obviously you're not going like heels or anything like that.
Gotta have good arch support.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good arch support.
Maybe a good pair of Nikes.
Okay. Like a,
Maybe
like a
actually,
cross trainer.
No, some like Skechers. Those have good walking shoes.
Skechers.
Yeah.
Wait, are you going to do the half moon
Oh yeah.
ones? Like,
totally.
Totally. Like,
if you're walking 5 miles. Oh yeah.
You know what?
Skechers.
Just to like piss you off, to do it like just enough, I'm gonna get like some Vibrams. Just like the least amount of shoe like physically possible, and then walk.
Only
in that.
gonna hurt you.
y'all wouldn't want to get the wheelies, huh?
Probably light up.
You
shoes,
could get light up shoes because
actually.
that wouldn't be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they could like smell like leaked mercury or something, then it would be a problem. But other than that, it would be good. What about you, Anthony? What kind of shoes? What kind of shoes you bring into
Anthony's
the
going
apocalypse?
boots.
Cowboy boots.
That makes no sense. There's no way you get cowboy.
But that's what Anthony's going. What are you going for, Anthony?
Can I not go for cowboy boots? No.
You can, but you would just be dead.
No,
I mean,
well, see, I know. I remember having some in. I think it was in high school. Probably they make
Vans.
Oh, now I am. Yes, but no, they used to make some. They made shoes with like memory foam. They were like.
They still do.
They still make those.
Yeah.
I'm totally going. But they're like flip flops. So
you can't do the flip flops. You can't have too much.
That's where I would be.
But
I would be.
like,
That's like my primary footwear.
Yeah.
Is flip flops.
It's
Like all year.
It's the end of the world. No one's around. It's the only time I'm wearing socks with flip flops. So I get to do it.
You can't wear flip flops.
Getting away with that.
It's gonna make too much noise.
With the socks, get it?
Now with my socks and the fact that they're memory foam, I'm safe.
So you're gonna be alone, single.
let's make this more realistic. You're gonna have like sandals with socks.
Mandals is really good.
Mandals.
So like the Velcroing.
Now he's gonna get the one where you get the strap around your big toe. And
God, you're just gonna wake up one morning and like there's just gonna be a baby and she's like, I'm out. Like there's just a note that says I'm out and then just gone.
She's gonna figure out a way to divorce me just based on my shoe choice after the apocalypse. She goes into
town to like get a notary thing, and then like says her and just stamps it.
And then he looks over and one of the timers is about to go off.
Exactly.
Off.
Wow. Okay, so the end of the movie. Let's go to the ending of the movie here. So the end of the movie, shit's going down. They set up the fireworks, which then makes the kids targets. Mm-hmm. There's some silo action. And then at the very end, John Krasinski saves the mom and the baby, goes out to find the kids, armed only with an axe. And so what do you guys think about the ending that happened?
He did not have to sacrifice himself.
You don't think so?
No.
I think he did. I
mean, he didn't. He could have made noise. He could have chunked the axe in another direction so it hit the ground. And
yeah, that was one thing I did. Like some sort of like projectiles.
Yeah, you didn't have to
like
not
a T-Rex guy.
Yeah,
but you're right. Though. He was. Right
Although it was
that
whole scene was straight out of Jurassic Park. Like
it was
the whole corn.
It was.
All that.
Yeah, but I mean, like get like a launcher that can like chuck something, into a cornfield and make some sound. And it goes,
there was the shed right next to him. He could have thrown something into the shed.
I'm gonna tell you something. When I run, I get a stitch in my side because I'm super healthy.
You run
on rare occasion. I don't feel like throwing shit when you guys, and he's like missing half his side at that point. So
I think he needs to man up.
If his freaking wife stabbed the thing through her foot and was bleeding everywhere and couldn't say any words and then had the kid, yeah, I think he could do that. All right, Jesus.
Took the easy way out.
Not the same. A man's pain's different than a.
It is. Well, men have a lower threshold for pain than women do. So that's
it's like a pimp's love. It's different than regular person's love.
I'll lean on your experience for that one, Mitch. I do not know what you're talking about. Do we watch the same movie? What is happening here? Like Hustle and Flow 2, like A Quiet Place. All those going on.
The aliens
here.
were the pimps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're smacking people around a lot.
Yeah,
that's
get back in line.
True.
I mean, yeah, that's my point. I do feel like.
So John Krasinski yells out.
But the creatures do, like, they get to the location, then they kind of search around. So it's not like...
Yeah.
It's not like they just look at the spot of the sound and they're like, oh, nothing here. And
I thought he was going to yell and then it run, and then him, like, kind of, like, run away silently-ish, and then the kid would hit the horn on the car. They could kind of like ping pong it. Although there's more around. I mean, yeah,
eventually
he just tried to
just
get
call more of them.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess that was the only way out, really.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a really good. It's awesome when like he's like signing and it's over. I mean, it was good. It was I could see people getting a little teary on that. I mean, it was definitely an emotional scene.
Yeah,
for sure. I thought it was really well.
That was well acted, well written. Just yeah.
I mean, now his wife is a single mom.
Yeah,
with 2 kids that are older and a baby
and a newborn.
That is, I mean, and then they figure out the frequency that can hurt them or make them more vulnerable because before they're armored, right? So bullets.
Well, I don't know. They figure the frequency. They just know that thing.
High pitched frequency.
So they just increase the amplitude.
Yep. Yeah. So that's why Mitch is buying all those electronic equipment in this new place.
Oh yeah,
so
my
just to make sure that
synthesizers and everything.
If the aliens come, you're testing everything, making sure get them. Yep. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the end? Everybody.
I would have liked to see the alien's head explode when the frequency got really high.
Oh, instead of her using the shotgun to do it?
I get the shotgun because then it brought the other aliens to them.
Mm-hmm.
But then
it just weakened it. It just weakened it. It didn't like straight.
Would have been good to see it freak out and then just kind of explode.
Well, I just again and
maybe that's where they're leading us is when she turns it up,
just like a zombie when you have to shoot it in the head. I don't know. I just what did weakening it with the crazy noise really do? I mean, I don't get why she couldn't have just shot him in the head with a shotgun to begin with.
I think
because then that attracted the other ones.
No, the shotgun attracted the other. I get that, but I'm just saying she killed that thing. I don't think it was going to die from the frequency.
No, I think you had to shoot it. I think it lowered. It's like it's like scales that were normally there were all pulled back because of whatever frequency.
Well, scales are all pulled back when it was advancing on them, though. Before that,
yeah, but it stayed out. Like you saw it, like it was pulsing, whatever, and it was like it stayed out. So its head was vulnerable.
When all the other aliens were running in, she turns up the volume all the way.
Yeah,
and so that probably, if that wasn't gonna severely damage all of them, that could have probably.
Well, and the other one, it hurt so bad that it literally bust through the silos. I don't know why that one still kind of just hung around in there trying to figure it out.
Yeah, you're right, because they're at the silo when it went off, or when her earpiece went off. It went through the edge of the silo. It was gone.
Because she made it a little louder, so it couldn't control itself.
Yeah. It's just trying to get out as much as it could to not die. So.
Yeah, I think they were showing that.
And I don't know if that was the same one or if it was a different one, because they rotated which alien monster was stalking them, because you saw them, like, there was 2 at one point, and some were coming in and out, so I'm wondering if it was
all I know is Andy Serkis' great work. I assume that's who did all the motion capture.
He did all the clicking sounds. Click, 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 click.
Yeah. It kind of reminded me the game The Last of Us a little bit.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Like the level 2 infected people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yep. So I mean the last scene of the movie is they blow this thing's head off. They look at the screen and you see a whole bunch more coming, and then we get he becomes Rambo in like the last scene. Just I mean, she probably has like 4 bullets, but sure.
No, they planned ahead. I think they had a lot of bullets. They had like 38 jars of like cucumbers. I think they had a lot of bullets. I think they were pretty well prepared. I would say. They got sand for days. I mean, these people are they got all kinds of different colored light systems.
Think how many more if they had shoved bullets in the shoes.
Yeah, they had a firework like trap set. I mean, I think they got bullets. I think they were.
Maybe they turned all the shoes into sand.
Yeah. Plus, no one would be like. Plus, if you go into town, no one would be like. Less people would be taking bullets, because in the newspaper they said, "Yeah, bullets are worthless." You know what I mean? So, if they grab some, then that actually would be pretty valuable now.
Bullets were definitely not worthless.
No. Well, they're worthless unless you have a cochlear earpiece implant. Mm-hmm. It's not a big population in that area, but hey, it's all worked.
Anything else about this movie y'all wanted to kind of talk about before we get to kind of our ends?
Let's talk about what we would do differently, Mitch.
You want to get into that?
Let's do it.
Well, let me ask you all. What would you have done differently?
Son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You
only move the headstone!
Still
good.
Why isn't Craig T. Nelson in everything?
Because he can't act very well. That's why.
Okay, so if you were any character in this movie whatsoever, what would you have done differently to either survive longer or just change your circle? Whatever, it really doesn't matter.
If there's any point in this movie you're watching it and saying like, "Oh, I would have not done that."
Yeah. Anthony, we can start with you if you'd like.
Yeah, no, I actually wondered it when she was having the baby. So it looks like they had actually planned for the baby coming. Everything was kind of in place. Okay, so I get that. And they kind of tried to make it work. But
she was a couple weeks early.
Was a couple weeks early. But there was also the waterfall scene where the waterfall was so loud that they could scream at the top of their lungs. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're planning to have the baby and you know it's coming soon. Why don't you move everything near the waterfall where you can be as loud as you want and you're okay? I thought about that immediately.
So you're saying like maybe even just build kind of like a cabin-y structure around the waterfall.
You wouldn't even need a cabin. You could just build a shelter.
Oh, you want to build a birthing shack next to the waterfall.
I mean, at this point, are your standards that high?
Why not just move to the river?
Yeah, I mean, you're making good points here. They have a house and that's where their food is and stuff. So I
get that part, but we're talking about just for the birth of the baby because know, I mean, a baby's
the house is by the river and the birthing shack's by the waterfall.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. I mean, babies are pretty quiet, right?
That's a great idea. I can't really find too many holes in that plan. Wow.
I'm just going to piggyback on that one. Yeah. If it were me, what I would have done, I'd have probably worked on my pull-out game a little bit better. Just
there's no sheepskin around.
I get it. Yeah, right. I get it.
They ran out. You
want to keep hope alive, but your son that just got murdered has not coaled in the ground, and you're already like, well, time to get the other one going.
Yeah, man. I think people survived like tens of thousands of years ago. You got to these people out, man.
Well, they weren't also being hunted down by aliens.
Yeah,
that's the key difference.
Aliens, saber-tooth tigers, whatever, man.
Woolly mammoths, yeah,
exactly. You start churning them out. I mean, you got to have kids if you're going to survive. I mean, as a civilization or a species, you got to have kids.
They had two of them.
They clearly had gotten over the death of that son.
I'm just
not at all. So that makes it more interesting where they had gotten over him none, and then they had another kid. Yeah,
if you're being hunted by a creature that is totally hearing based, maybe a newborn's not what you need at this current time.
Yeah,
maybe just make sure you got the soundproof. They were all surprised.
So you're holding the runner.
They were
third.
all surprised the soundproof room worked, which is the concerning part because they were leaving a lot to chance. Like, we play with this baby. We have a soundproof barrier and a little baby casket that it can live in for a while. I hope it works.
Casket.
We won't know until it's here. So they were. I mean, that's a big risk. It's a big gamble.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. Just work that pull-out game. Kendall, how about you? What would you have done differently?
How do I follow that? I would go with
waterfalls and pulling out. We got conflicting ones so far.
Different strategies for sure.
Yeah,
both are TLC songs.
Pull out? I don't remember that.
It was on their.
That was a
album.
Lisa Left Eye Lopez solo track. It wasn't even part of DLC.
Gone but not forgotten.
Yeah.
Lisa Lopez.
I would definitely move the family to the river.
Okay.
So you just become river folk.
Oh,
at
yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
Probably live on the river.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could actually have conversations.
Yeah, I mean, because all the bears are murdered too, because it clearly murders every animal.
I was surprised raccoons were left after like a year. That's surprising.
There were still birds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nate, what do you do?
Okay, so we got waterfall people, river people. Don't make more people. Right? Is that's the
Nate would make more people
so far.
Nate would make so many people across and just like he's just playing a numbers game at that point.
He would make aliens
while they're busy munching down on these little ones that can't move. He could just keep running.
Oh man, that's hard.
It's like Feast.
I I got like an easily detachable baby Bjorn. I can just start throwing things out. Is that what you're saying?
False. Those things are not easily
So
detachable.
I just want to give a shout out to this movie for being very pro basement. Not to get on my basement soapbox here, but basement literally the safest place, and underground the safest place on earth in this movie.
Not a ringing endorsement for the basement.
Yeah. So what I would do is I'd expand the basement. Like,
yeah, I'm sure it's very easy to nail.
Like 10 Cloverfield Lane.
So how quietly can you
exactly.
nail shit together, Nate?
I mean, you just fucking wrap the mattress around you and just
Look,
you know.
it's not like Fortnite, man. You have to just kind of deal with the structure you find. You don't just build around it.
You don't just run away.
Yeah. You don't run away and hide like other people do.
Like Mitch does.
Like I do. That's my strategy for winning
you
Fortnite.
are running and hiding.
Hey, I got to number 2 the other night.
No, I think that their basement area was like way too not developed. I'm actually being serious now. Like they really could have like fortified the basement way more, and that's where they should have been all the time. I don't even know why you'd even be upstairs or anything like that, right? I mean, I think you'd be in the basement all the time.
But it's John Krasinski and his pregnant wife trying to do that because the kids can't really do.
But like he basically turns it like that's my workshop. Don't go down there. Like that was literally like that's like the man cave. Like you can't go in. That's why he tells like the deaf daughter. That actually is kind of stupid. That's where everyone should be. Like all the time.
Yeah.
So I would just go to the basement.
Lock yourself in the basement.
You know, that's actually a really good point. He said that in the movie where he told her not to go down into the basement.
Yeah. It's like I'm trying
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, there was nothing down there that was dangerous.
He had like a whiteboard that said like weaknesses on it. I mean, what was like the shocking thing down there?
Maybe he was afraid she would see
I think he was
all
just trying to
the
protect her from
cameras.
it all, and
Get to see all the video feed. Scare her a little bit.
Seeing all the creatures out
But
there.
like having information at your having information, especially if you're deaf, like having the ability to like see more places would seem like a good thing. Like,
yeah, and it's not like you always saw them running around on the videos. I mean, it's like just a bunch of stuff looking at corn. I mean, Nate likes that, but
basement's corn. I mean, what else do you need?
He streams corn videos.
I'm set for life.
All right, so
you have a place to run and hide.
So Nate,
corn song reference. Thanks, Mitch. Yeah.
That was the first one he's earned.
He's earned that one. Well done. All right, so Nate, let me ask you this:
life was not peachy face people. I get it.
If you were going to make a sequel, what would you make? What would you make as a sequel?
Okay,
what would you call it?
So there's a whole universe. There's a whole universe here. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't follow this family. I'd follow like there's got to be some sort of 30 floors down government facility kind of action here, right?
Okay.
So I would kind of follow like them and seeing how they're actually tackling the threat, because someone's got to figure out like some frequency shit or something. I mean, right? You would think
so you would turn it into like an Independence Day.
Yeah, but better than the second Independence Day. Like the first, more like the first Independence Day.
Okay.
So what would the title be?
Yeah, sure.
A Quiet Place 2, Welcome to Earth. If you're saying
that was terrible.
A less quiet place.
I like that.
A slightly louder place than before.
A Quiet Place 2, Silent but Deadly. Got it.
That was terrible.
Anthony, what would you make a sequel about?
I'm going back to what I said earlier. I just want to know what happened. Give me a prequel. I was like,
prequel. Okay, so you're going prequel instead of sequel.
I like it.
I want to know how they got there. What are they? I want to see the carnage that actually brought them to this point.
Gotcha.
Okay. So just give me some backstory.
Maybe the prequel is 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh,
mind blown.
Maybe.
So what is yours called though? What would you call it? Help me, 11 Cloverfield Lane.
Should have been a quiet place.
Oh.
Should have been a quiet place.
Should have though. You gotta. That's one word.
Okay.
Should have been a quiet.
No one's gonna get confused by this prequel at all.
Kendall, what about you? You made a sequel.
If I made a sequel, give it a District 9 twist to it.
Okay.
Oh.
John's not dead and starts turning into one of the aliens.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
And then he's trying to fight back to save the rest of the humans. As he's one of them, he starts going after the rest of the aliens.
Oh,
Does Dionne Ward join in as special cameo appearances on this one? I realize that's Chappie, but it's all the same.
Same director.
Same stuff. All right.
Okay.
What'd you say you'd call it?
So it's almost like a Blade. He's like part vampire, part human, fighting the vampires.
Yeah.
Okay. It's actually almost like 30 Days of Night also. What's it called, though? No, you still got to come up with the name now. Anything. It's got to be better than Welcome to Earth. So, I mean, if you think of it,
that was really
literally
bad.
anything is better than that.
I made shoulda into one word.
Yeah.
You can do this.
You did. I don't.
So, A Quiet Place 2, this anything.
Electric Boogaloo.
Revenge of the Humans.
Revenge of the Humans. Okay,
Nice.
all right.
Yeah. I look, to me, the sequel's already made.
Okay.
Why do we assume this all takes place on Earth? We don't really know. This could be a colony. This is what starts off the big bug war from Starship Troopers.
Oh my God,
Yes.
I am in. They're
Lieutenant Rico comes back and just slaughters.
Come on, you apes, you want to live forever.
Yes.
Wow, you win. You win. What's it called, though?
Fuck, I don't know.
What's it called?
Let's see. A Quiet Night 2.
A Quiet Night 2? What is that?
I don't know.
A Quiet Place 2?
Quiet Place 2. Silent Night, Deadly Night. I don't know. I don't know.
A Quiet Place 2, the only good bug is a dead bug.
Love it.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well done.
Done.
That's
All right.
a long title for the marquee on the movie theater.
Jeez. With all that said, I think there's only one thing left to do for this episode.
Final cut.
So for this final cut, Kendall, since it's the first time, what we do is we give a score out of 10. The rating scale can be made up whatever the hell you want it to be, usually something with the movie. To kick us off, I will give it to Nate.
Sure. So I really like this movie. Some of the more relatable characters in horror, it's not saying a whole lot. Yeah. It's not like it's Jason X level of stupidity or Leprechaun 4 levels where you're just like, can everyone just die and get over with? This was basically the opposite of that. I felt pretty emotionally invested, even in the kids that were acting like idiots, like Kendall said. Mm-hmm. They were still pretty believable, and it still made sense that was what was happening. They weren't really stupid for no reason. So I really liked it. And in general, I thought the acting was great. The monsters were not disappointing, which is they're almost always disappointing, a la Signs. So I'll give it 8 out of 10. I'll give it 8 out of 10 batteries.
Okay. I think I will follow up. So I enjoyed the movie a lot. There were some parts of it that were just kind of, I just rolled with it. I didn't really question too much, but it was still good. It was overall very good. I think for horror fans, I think there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna kind of turn their nose up at it because it was PG-13. But that didn't. I thought it was plenty. It had some good jump scares. It had some good tense moments. I'd give it 7 out of 10 bare feet.
You stole it, Kendall's.
Yeah,
I like them too.
That's unfortunate.
Kendall.
So I thought the acting was also fantastic. And the kids did an amazing job. They're supposed to be frustrating to you as you're watching it, which was fantastic. The alien was amazing. They did a really good job with that. Usually the alien can be a little frustrating, but this was a good alien.
Yeah.
Concerning a horror movie, I don't know how much I'd consider it a horror. So I guess for the big horror fans, they may be a little disappointed because us non-horror fans, I actually enjoyed it.
And we liked it too. So I think it's hitting multiple boxes. I think,
That's good.
Is probably why it's going to do really well.
Yeah, definitely. I'd probably get it definitely a 8 out of 10 rockets.
Nice.
10 rockets. Okay.
Well done. All right, Anthony.
Wait, the ones that go up in the air like fireworks, or the ones that make children get murdered?
The ones that make children get
murdered. Okay. There's a clarification there. Okay.
He had it coming for him.
Damn!
He had it coming to him.
All right, Anthony, take us home.
All right. So without any backstory, so you don't actually know where they came from. You don't actually, and then you don't know what actually happens afterwards, and that's always going to drive me nuts. So that's going to hurt a little bit. But you're right. The acting was amazing. The kids did awesome. Something I don't really notice in movies, but you notice it in this movie was the music. So, I thought about it while I was watching the movie. It's like, you could probably watch this thing in mute, but then you kind of start, there's a ton of just background music, like the orchestra playing. It actually kind of sets a mood throughout. So that was actually pretty good.
They utilize silence. Like, the silence is more menacing than the menacing music.
Right. But it's not, at least in my opinion, it wasn't really that horror movie. There are a couple of points where you may jump out, but it's overall just a pretty good movie. So for that reason, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Ooh, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 babies.
8 out of 10 babies. Going right to it.
All right. Well, there you have it. So it's a winner from everyone, really, here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode of Texas Podcast Massacre. Nate, tell them where they can find us.
Yeah. So if you want to talk with us about A Quiet Place and let us know what you thought, tweet us at TXPodMassacre. Head to our website at TexasPodcastMassacre.com. Check us out on Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, and all your other podcast platforms.
All right. Well, we will catch you next week. Thank you so much for listening in. Thank you both for joining us this week. And as always, just keep telling yourself it's only a movie. Bye, guys. Good night. Bye.